When you wake up in the morning, your brain remembers who you are.
I'm not sure I want to know.
Checks to see how you feel.
If it's Monday, I know I don't want to know.
And gets ready to face the day.
Not.
Something a little more successful happens when you turn on your PC.
Yeah, only without the morning breath.
Enough. In your PC, this is called the POST, or Power On Self-Test.
When you hit the on switch, the power supply fires a burst of current that wakes up the processor and tells it to look for startup instructions.
Those instructions are found in the chips of ROM BIOS, the read-only memory basic input-output system.
Oh, that's a mouthful. What's for breakfast?
The ROM BIOS chips carry the POST, which now begins.
Right. First, the chips double-check their own code against the same code stored in memory. If everything's okay, the POST proceeds.
The test looks at all the expansion slots, plus the serial and parallel ports to make sure they're working right. And it checks the system's clock chip.
When the POST gets to your video adapter, you may see a message about your video BIOS.
The POST also checks the keyboard port to see if a keyboard is attached and whether any keys have been pressed. Next, the POST writes data to all the RAM chips, then reads it back to double-check for their accuracy.
And the POST keeps going. It now checks to see what floppy and hard drives are installed, comparing these with a list in the CMOS chip. Finally, all systems are go. Now the actual boot up process begins.
Is there a disk in the floppy drive? The processor checks. If there is, the PC uses the operating system on that disk to boot up.
If not, the PC looks for boot up files on the hard drive.
On this drive are two hidden system files, usually named io.sys and ms-dos.sys.
Wait a minute. Secret files hidden on my drive?
That's right. You normally don't see them, but the system can't boot up without them. Now we get a sort of chain reaction. The PC loads a small bit of data called the boot record into memory. This record loads the io.sys file.
And the io.sys loads the ms-dos.sys. And the ms-dos.sys loads the config.sys.
That configures your system.
And the ms-dos.sys also loads the command.com.
The command.com has standard built-in commands such as copy.
And the command.com looks for a file named autoexec.bat.
The autoexec.bat is a set of special programs you want the PC to run each time it's turned on. If command.com finds such a file, it carries out those instructions. Otherwise, it presents the familiar C prompt.
Is that it?
That's it.
Well, that's some wake-up call.
I thought you'd get a boot out of it.